Hello and welcome to SailGP Today, where we are wrapping up here in Halifax, Canada, at the end of what's been an incredible America's run, hasn't it, Lise?
Yeah, it's been crazy. It feels like a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. It's hard to keep up with everything that's gone on, but it's just so nice to finish Halifax on a high here and have an epic day of racing.
And we're going to start this with some overreactions and underreactions, but there is also going to be some very special guests, including Peter Burling later on, and who else we can grab from behind us here on the tech site. Overreactions, Lisa, underreactions, what's your statement?
I mean, I think a big one, it's kind of at the forefront of my mind, is I think the Brazilians made a pretty bold call putting Paul Goodison in, and it didn't pay off this weekend.
I don't think that. I think that's a good reaction, to be honest. I don't think it's an under or overreaction. I think that's just a good statement. From my perspective, there's a lot of teams towards the bottom of the leaderboard who should be looking at roster changes potentially. And it's clear from the performance this weekend that it might not pay off.
Yeah, I think, even though we were split group racing, it just went to show that, experience in those tight situations, I'm sure that they've got their own perspective on it, but it just goes to show that, as these situations unfold, if you haven't seen them before, it's hard to actually judge how big an F50 is, can your boat fit in that gap? So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what moves they make next after this. What have you got for me?
My first statement is that Halifax, out of all the America's events, is the best.
Big call. Personally, I think the crowds are the best here. My favourite event would be Bermuda. I mean, how can you go past that turquoise blue water and on a beautiful island? But why does Halifax stand out to you?
So what I really liked about Halifax is the fan base. Everyone was just so excited to be here. The teams were getting incredible support, no matter who they were. I mean, there was tons of Australian fans, American fans. Everyone was here out supporting SailGP. And I think for me personally, the size of the city is really nice. It's very small. It's big enough for SailGP to feel like we've taken over a bit and everything is SailGP when you're walking around. Whereas in New York, it did feel like we're a bit of just a drop in the pond.
I mean, New York's a pretty big city, so we'll give them that. And I get similar vibes when we go to places like Auckland, and everyone is there, lining every sort of window point of the waterfront, just wanting to get a part of it. So Halifax is really special, and after missing last season, it has been incredible to be back. And watching Canada finish today in front of the home fans was just an iconic moment.
Something that Halifax hasn't been great for, though, is the weather. It's been quite variable. I've heard you out on the water doing your weather reports.
Hard to pick. Yeah.
What was going on?
Yeah, super hard to pick. But obviously, when we're in these sort of harbour cities, not only is the winds, I guess, changing just because it naturally always changes, but it's weaving its way through the buildings, the land, and it's also funneling along the shorelines. And the other thing that was hard here is, especially yesterday with the cloud cover, it makes it really hard to read what the wind is doing on the water. So yeah, it was tricky. Today we saw more of a pattern emerge. It was kind of like you knew it was just right turn the whole time. But even in that final, it changed. So, I love these sort of shifty, crazy venues because I think not only, you have to sail your F50 to a full potential, but you got to pick the wind right. And I love that we've had lots of overtakes, even that final, lots was happening. So even though as a sailor it's like really tough, it does make it better for us to watch.
Okay, there you go. What do you think it is? Overreaction, underreaction? Just happy?
What, the weather or Halifax?
No, Halifax.
I'm saying overreaction because I think Bermuda, but we don't have to agree.
Over to you.
Oh, another one for me is this the rise of Los Gallos? Are they back? Are they going to do the next winning streak?
Yeah. Well, 7 events, 5 event finals, 1 win. Pretty impressive stats.
Yeah, I think that it's incredible, especially after missing out on New York. Super disappointing for them to come back and then have to make. I think an athlete goes to show how good they are when they make the best decisions in crucial moments. And I think Diego did an amazing job of that today. He knew when the pressure was on and every centimetre was going to count, he pushed it to the very end. And I think we saw that in one of the starts. We saw that obviously with the finish of the Black Foils and then all the way to the finish of the final. So I think when he needs to rise, he rises, and that goes to show, a great driver.
It's clearly like the message has been passed back to Diego that he's got to do what needs to be done, and the aggression kind of came out today. I feel like his starts were particularly intense. So sometimes when I was like, oh, it was very, very close. Do you think that's the secret to his success today? And that's the difference between the other finals he's made, maybe, is that he just focused in?
I think, he's very good at making the finals. And today, he did have a good start, but he had to fight the whole time. And I think what he does very well, but I mean all the drivers do well, is when they think something, they back themselves. And I don't know. I don't think there was any like key today or anything they did spectacular, but they did the right things right, essentially.
For sure, and they won, and it was incredible to see.
So do you agree? Is this their?
I think it's a bit of an underreaction, actually. I think they're incredible, and I keep seeing them time and time again make the final, commit to starts. Their timing's incredible. Their team dynamic is incredible. They're throwing maneuvers even when it's light. Yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff. You've gone for Los Gallos. My statement is that the Black Foils have picked up exactly where they left off.
I mean, it was pretty impressive. I think it was a nice event for them because it was a little bit lighter and split fleets, which is a nice sort of reintroduction. If you throw them in, 40 kph wins with 13 boats on the start line, it might have been a little bit of a different. I don't know. I still think they would have done well, but I think it was a nice ease back into it with them. And they'll be disappointed that they didn't make that final, but. That finish was incredible. Pete having to slow the boat down so that they could try slow the Spanish down and let Rockwell through. It's like Pete's not holding back, and even some of the mark roundings, he was really sticking it in there. So, yeah, he's ready to win events again. That's for sure.
And obviously these guys sail a bunch in between events, and they're always on the water, always sailing. But coming out of a 4-month period, or nearly 4-month period of not sailing an F50. There didn't seem to be any cobwebs at all across the whole team. Everyone seemed switched on, and even the mindset and headspace to be able to go, we're going to play a game of chess here against Rockwell, Denmark, and Los Gallos to see if we can make the final, was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not just the experience with the F50, but it's the experience that, these athletes have from their whole sailing career to know the moves that they need to do in those moments. But the other thing is, like, this team is also really solid. So you see, maybe if they hadn't had that much time together as a team and they came back after 4 months, it would be like, hang on, who does what? But because they're so locked in after a couple of seasons, I think it was just like really clear what their roles were.
Brand new F50, no teething issues.
Oh yeah, it's nice to have a new boat.
Yeah, it clearly goes very fast as well, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, I think you're on the money with that one. It's a fair statement. Well, we're lucky enough to be joined by the winning driver, taking away from the celebrations. But Diego, congratulations. How good does it feel to finally get a win on the board this season?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been amazing. As I said, it's been a very up and down season for us, making a lot of finals, but not being able to compete into events. So yeah, pulling it off here is special.
Talk to us about that start. That's what we want to know. Were you nervous at any point going into that with France?
Yes, 100%. I mean, we were like spot on time to kill. You never know if it's going to go 0.1 of a second up or down. So at one moment we were kind of closing our eyes, going to the gap and yeah, expecting Craig to say something about the no CS, and we were fine. So yeah, all good in the end.
And he had battles throughout the whole day. Obviously that finish with New Zealand, did you know that they were coming for you, and did you have a plan?
Yeah, we were 100% expecting it. We knew that they needed to put the boat between them and us, and we were expecting them to do something because otherwise they didn't make it into the final. And yeah, I think they actually did a very good job giving themselves a chance, as they did. It was about millimeters in the end. So yeah, hats off to them.
And you've made 5 finals out of the 7 events this season so far. What did you have to do to reset and think, how are we going to win this one? Was there any sort of mindset shift? You came in quite aggressive today, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, when we've done a lot of finals this season, and we were a bit frustrated not being able to win any of them. And yeah, when it's been so long, you just go full on, and I think it gives you also a little advantage.
I'm sorry, Lisa.
There's a little bit of a boat coming here. We might just shuffle this way for a second.
Right, continue.
We'll just continue over here. It was a battle with Artemis, obviously, in that final. Is it fun when it's toing and froing in between and having to make those calls that could make the difference?
Yeah. Again, it was a very tight start, and I think the Swedish did a very, very good job, especially on the last upwind. They went perfectly in phase with the shift, and we were a bit against. So yeah, trying to defend all the time, and it came down to that last downwind. We just made the mark, just foiling, just not falling off the foils, and that gave us the best position.
And what makes Halifax such a unique venue to sail in? We've obviously seen the weather from our side, we've seen the natural boundaries of the harbour and stuff, but from your perspective on board, was it difficult? Was it nice? How did you find the weekend?
It was, flat water is always easier than waves, and here you only get flat water, but it's true that the winds were very shifty, super unstable, and this is what was making things hard, and especially when you go over range, those puffs hitting you on the side, you really need to be in sync with the crew to make the boat go fast through them. So that was a key thing this weekend.
Well, now that you tasted victory, you ready to win 3 in a row, and match the Aussies?
I mean, this is what we try all the time. We'll see what happens. We always try to do our best to win, and yeah, you don't always achieve it. It's really hard to do, as we saw. We need to assume big risks, and it has to go our side. So, but this is LGP, no? The fleet is so close, the level is so high that it's how it is.
Amazing. Thank you, Diego. We'll let you get back to your celebrations. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the champagne.
Thank
We'll
you
see
very
you in
much.
Portsmouth.
Thank you.
And speaking of the Black Foils, we mentioned Peter Burling earlier. We've got the next best thing. It's
I think
Blair
even
Tuke.
better. We got Blair Tuke.
Welcome, Blair. How good is it to be back?
It's great to be back. Of course, we're competitive and we wanted to win this weekend, but it's nice to be through a weekend. First time since November, and all things considered, we're pretty happy with the performance we put together.
And how's the new boat? Feel good?
Yeah, it felt good, and we got a day of commissioning, so that was enough for us to kind of slot back in, and then we just tried to keep building throughout the weekend. But a couple of things didn't go as well as we would have liked today, and I think I was just having a joke with Diego there, but we certainly had them on the ropes there, not just in the last reach, but even a bit before that, and it's a bit of a shame not to have closed that out and make it to the final. But yeah, pretty happy with the group. We've been through a lot over the last 4 months, and to get a 5th place and our season back on track, it feels good.
Sorry, you
So I
guys
was going to say,
go.
it's a funny dynamic, obviously, with the 2 fleets and only 2 get through. Does it mean that you kind of like narrow in on the one boat you need to be?
Yeah, once we got to that point, I mean, it's not hugely different than if you're in one fleet and you know who you have to beat. Now there's 13 boats, you kind of have to race till the end, whereas this one was, okay, it's mainly between us and Spain here. And yeah, I mean, we had the better of them for a little bit, but they sailed well. They hung in some pretty tough spots, and that's credit to them, but we'll have to look where we can tidy up and sort of put them away there, because I think we had the opportunity to, but yeah, it's we're back in action, so it's good.
When you first got back on the boat after a few months off, I mean, it seems to us like you just picked up exactly where it left off. Was there any teething issues? Was it a bit of an adjustment, or did it just feel really natural again?
Yeah, you got 2 things going there. You got a brand new boat, and you've got a crew who haven't sailed together for 4 months. So you kind of, I think the first thing, that the brand new boat went really well. Credit to the tech team and everyone at SailGP for the work that they do back in Southampton and then here in Halifax to get that the boat ready. So that went, apart from a couple of things, went well all weekend. And then the crew, yeah, the same. Pretty good. I mean, and that's testament to the work we put in between events, even leading up to the incident, but then especially over the last few months, just how we've built up. So yeah, it was a good place to sail, right? Dead flat water, pretty good conditions, so that made it a little bit easier for us too.
You missed out, obviously, on Rio with a 27.5 metre wing and that sort of foil setup. What was it like for you as a wing trimmer with that power today?
Yeah, it's certainly quite hard, but the leagues, or all teams, have been sailed in Rio, then again in New York, the same config. So it wasn't, when we were suddenly over range on, I was like, oh, this is where we don't want to be. Everyone's had, recently quite a bit of experience in it, but we watched all the data and tried to set the boat up the best we can. But then that's one thing. The next thing's how do you actually, how does it feel and how do you react in the moment? And I don't think it was all coming naturally for us, but those are things we'll go away and review and try to be better for next time.
Well, it's good to have you back. We'll have to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Safe journey home.
Well, we are halfway through the season now, over halfway, so I thought it's a good time to go mid-season MVPs. Who are you picking?
Oh, my mid-season MVP. Well, I'm going to go with a group, if that's okay, for my mid-season MVPs. It's got to be the SailGP tech team. They got the Brazilian boat back. They got the USA boat back on the water here. They got the Italian boat back on the water here. The whole season has been full of ups and downs for them. Lots of crashes, lots of repairs, and they've pulled it off every time. We've got the Black Foils back as well. Their work ethic is incredible, and they've managed to pull it off. So that's my mid-season MVP.
Yeah,
who's yours?
That's fantastic, and now they've got a wing to fix. So the
Yeah,
work
with the
keeps on going for them. For me, I mean, I really think it is Diego. I think, to make every single final that they've competed in this season and then to finish it with a win, obviously they were season champions in the past, but I think, just to be able to be that competitive again, and I think, he might even be slightly underrated. He flies under the radar, which is probably good for him, but, I just think it's really impressive how he's sailing at the moment and just always sort of just chipping away.
It is very impressive to see, and it's also interesting to see how GBR have dropped off a bit. away from Los Gallos.
They don't like America, but
No,
I think
they
they'll
don't.
come back in Europe, and it'd be too obvious to say Australia, so that's why I'm going Diego.
Well, we may see a comeback from them, because the next event we're going to is the Emirates Great Britain Sail Grand Prix over in Portsmouth. Are you excited?
I can't
It's
wait.
a lot of jet lag for you.
I mean, it's a lot of jet lag, but, you know, the crowd here in Halifax are amazing, but Portsmouth was just next level. That race village is incredible. That grandstand is just so huge, and generally we're expecting good wind there, and I think it's going to be a fantastic event. And fingers crossed, I'm really hopeful we're going to have 13 boats on one start line, because that's what I live for here at SailGP.
Okay, well, if you have any thoughts, comments, things you want to tell us, you can leave a comment below on this video, or you can head over to our Reddit channel and leave a comment there. That's goodbye from Halifax. It's goodbye from myself and Lisa. We'll see you next time.